My fiancée admitted she's been sleeping with her boss for 2 years while planning our wedding. Let me back up. Her name is Sarah. We've been together for 6 years, engaged for 2. We were supposed to get married next spring. We had a venue booked, invitation sent out, the whole thing. I thought we were solid. I thought we had something real. It started about 3 weeks ago when I noticed her phone going off at weird times, late at night, early in the morning. She'd check it and then put it face down. She started being weird about her phone, keeping it in her purse instead of on the nightstand like she always did. I didn't want to be that guy, the jealous boyfriend who checks his girlfriend's phone. But something felt off. One day she left her phone in the bathroom. It buzzed. A text came through and I saw the preview. It was from someone named Mark, and it said, "Can't wait to see you tonight. Tell him you're working late." My chest just went cold. I didn't open her phone. I didn't need to. I waited for her to come home from work that day, and I asked her straight up, "Who's Mark?" She went pale, like actually pale, and she just stood there for like 30 seconds without saying anything. That's when I knew. "Sarah, who is Mark?" She sat down on the couch and started crying. Then she told me everything. Mark is her boss at a marketing firm. They've been sleeping together for 2 years. 2 years, that means they started when we were already engaged. She said it started as just flirting, then texting, then one night after a work thing they kissed in his car, and it just kept going from there. I asked her why. Why would she do this? Why would she plan a wedding with me while doing this? She said, I don't know. I wasn't thinking straight. Mark made me feel wanted and you were so focused on work, and I felt invisible. Invisible. I was working overtime to pay for the wedding. I was working so we could afford the down payment on a house, and she felt invisible. So what, you just decided to blow up our entire relationship? 2 years, Sarah. 2 years of lying to my face, coming home and kissing me after being with him, telling me you love me. She tried to grab my hand. I do love you. I was confused. I made a mistake. A mistake is texting the wrong person. A mistake is forgetting an anniversary. This isn't a mistake. This is a choice. You chose to do this, over and over, for 2 years. I told her to leave. She went to her mom's house that night, but here's the thing that really destroyed me. I went back and thought about all those times she said she was staying late at work, all those conferences, all those nights she came home and we had sex, and I felt close to her. She was with him. While we were planning our wedding, picking flowers, sending invitations, she was with him. I called off the wedding the next day. The caterer, the photographer, sent an email to everyone on the guest list saying the wedding was canceled. I didn't explain why. I didn't owe them that. Sarah's been trying to contact me for days, calling, texting, showing up at my apartment. Her mom called me, her best friend called me, everyone's trying to get me to work through it, or go to counseling, or think about what we've built together. But I can't look at her without feeling sick. Every memory we have is tainted now. I keep thinking about Mark, about them together, about her lying to me every single day. I gave the ring back. I packed up all her stuff and left it at her mom's house. I blocked her number yesterday. I can't do this. I can't be with someone who betrayed me like that, who lied for 2 years, and would probably still be lying if I hadn't seen that text. We're done. The wedding is off, the engagement is off, everything is off. I found out my girlfriend of 6 years has been lying about her entire family, and the truth came out when her real mom showed up at our apartment unannounced. Let me back up. Sarah and I met in college. We've been together since we were 20, and we're 26 now. We've talked about getting married, having kids, the whole thing. I thought I knew her completely. Her parents live in Ohio. At least, that's what I thought. Her dad is a retired engineer. Her mom is a nurse. She's an only child. She's told me stories about her childhood for years. Trips to the beach, her dad teaching her to drive, family dinners. I met her parents 3 times. They seemed nice enough. Her mom sent us Christmas cards. Last Tuesday, there's a knock on our apartment door at 9 p.m. Sarah's in the shower. I open it, and there's this woman standing there. She looks maybe 55, wearing a rain jacket, holding a small bag. She looks at me and her face goes pale. Is Sarah here? She asks. I say yes. She looks relieved, but also really nervous. I invite her in. Sarah comes out of the bathroom wrapped in a towel and sees this woman. Sarah's face goes completely white. She literally sits down on the couch without saying anything. The woman introduces herself. Her name is Linda. She says, I'm your mother, Sarah. I'm standing there confused. I say, wait, what? Sarah doesn't say anything, just sits there staring. Linda starts talking. She explains that Sarah is actually her daughter from a relationship she had before she married the man Sarah calls her dad. The man I've met 3 times. Linda says she gave up custody when Sarah was a baby because she wasn't ready to be a mom. She signed papers saying the man Sarah calls her dad could raise her. Linda said she's been trying to contact Sarah for years, but Sarah's adoptive parents kept her away. I look at Sarah. She's crying now. I ask her, is this true? She doesn't answer me. She just keeps crying. Linda says, Sarah, honey, I understand this is a shock, but I'm your real mother. I've missed so much of your life. Then Sarah speaks. She says, I know who you are. That's when everything hits different. She knows. She knew this whole time. I say, you know about this? Sarah stands up. She says, yes, I've known since I was 16. My dad told me. He said Linda gave me up. He said she chose her career over me. He said she abandoned me. I ask her, why didn't you tell me? She says, because it's complicated. Complicated. Our entire relationship is built on a lie, and it's complicated. I ask her straight up, have you been in contact with her this whole time? Sarah looks at Linda. Linda looks down. Sarah says, we've been texting for 2 years. 2 years. We've been talking about getting engaged. We've talked about moving to a bigger place. We've talked about her visiting her parents in Ohio next summer. And she's been texting her real mom the whole time, and never told me. I ask, does your dad know you've been in contact with her? Sarah says, no, he thinks I still hate her. I look at Linda. I say, why come here now? Linda says, I'm sick. I have stage 3 cancer. I wanted to see my daughter before I run out of time. Sarah starts crying harder. I walk into the bedroom and close the door. I need to think. After maybe 20 minutes, Sarah comes in. She says, I'm sorry I didn't tell you. I ask her, What else haven't you told me? What else is a lie? She doesn't answer. I tell her, I need you to think really hard about that question and answer me. She says nothing, just this, but I don't believe her anymore. 6 years. 6 years of stories about her childhood, her parents, her family. All of it was a lie, or at least not the whole truth, and she's been hiding a relationship with her biological mother for 2 years. I told her we need to take a break. She cried. Linda left the next morning. Sarah has been trying to talk to me about it, but I can't look at her without feeling angry and betrayed. I called my best friend that night and told him everything. He said, "Dude, you need to think about whether you can trust her again, because that's not a small lie. That's a fundamental lie about who she is." He's right. I don't know if I can get past this. I don't know if I want to. Sarah moved in with her real mom yesterday. We're not broken up officially, but we're not together either. I told her we can talk when she's figured out what she wants and why she thought lying to me was acceptable. I haven't heard from her in 3 days. I found a hotel receipt in my wife's jacket pocket for a place 3 hours away, and the dates don't match anything she told me about. Let me back up. My wife Sarah is 34. We've been married for 7 years. We have 2 kids, Emma who's 5 and Jack who's 3. I work in construction. Sarah works in marketing at a tech company. Everything seems normal, or at least that's what I thought. Sarah told me 2 weeks ago she had a work trip to Portland, 3 days, a client event. She left on a Thursday morning. I stayed home with the kids. My mom came to help. Sarah came back Sunday night like nothing happened. But last Tuesday I was doing laundry. I grabbed her jacket from the dry cleaning pile. The receipt fell out, not a dry cleaning receipt, a hotel receipt from the Riverside Inn in Salem. Salem is nowhere near Portland, and the dates were Thursday through Saturday. Thursday through Saturday, the same days as her work trip. I stared at that receipt for like 5 minutes. My hands were shaking. I didn't know what to do, so I did what probably any person would do. I read it 3 more times to make sure I wasn't crazy. The room charge was $189 a night, 3 nights, plus taxes and a minibar charge for $34. Someone ordered room service twice. The receipt had her name on it, Sarah Mitchell, our last name. I sat down on the couch and tried to think. Was there any reason she'd be in Salem instead of Portland? Any work thing I didn't know about? Could she have gone to Salem for part of the trip? Then I checked her calendar. She shares it with me. Thursday through Saturday it said Portland client event, with an address for a hotel there. Not the Riverside Inn. A different place. The Meridian Hotel. I know that place. It's nice. It's also real. So my wife booked a hotel in Portland and told me about it. But she actually went to a different hotel in Salem and didn't tell me. Those are 2 very different things. I didn't know whether to be angry or scared. Maybe both. I texted her at work. "Hey, quick question about your Portland trip. You stayed at the Meridian, right?" She didn't answer for 20 minutes. Then, "Yeah, why?" My stomach dropped. She lied. She lied right to my face through a text. I didn't text back. I needed to think. I needed to figure out what I was going to say when I asked her about Salem, because I wasn't going to let this go. Sarah got home at 6 p.m. She kissed me and asked about my day. I said it was fine. We put the kids to bed together. We didn't talk much. She seemed normal, tired maybe, but normal. At 9 p.m. after she took a shower, I pulled her into the kitchen. "We need to talk," I said. She looked confused. "About what?" "Your work trip, the one to Portland." She went white. Actually white. I could see it happen. "What about it?" she said, but her voice was different now, smaller, for a long time. Then she looked at me. "I can explain," she said. "Okay, explain. It's not what you think." "Sarah, I don't know what to think. You told me you were in Portland. This receipt says Salem, a different hotel, a different city, where you didn't tell me you were going." She sat down at the kitchen table. She put her head in her hands. "I went to Salem," she said quietly. "I know you went to Salem. Why?" She didn't answer. She just sat there with her head in her hands. "Sarah, answer me. Who were you with?" Then my phone buzzed. A text from an unknown number. Just 3 words. "She's not who you think." I showed Sarah. Her face went even paler. And then I heard it. A car pulling into our driveway. At 9:15 p.m. on a Tuesday night. My husband's phone buzzed at 3 a.m. with a text from someone named Alex. I grabbed it without thinking. That one message changed everything. We'd been married for 8 years. I thought we were solid. Not perfect, but solid. We had a mortgage, 2 kids, all the usual stuff. Mark worked as a project manager at some tech company downtown. He was always on his phone, always working late, but I trusted him. Or I thought I did. The text said, "Can't wait to see you this weekend. Tell her you're going to that conference. She won't check." My hands went cold. I read it 3 times. Then I opened his messages with Alex. There were hundreds, years of them, going back to when we'd just bought the house. The next morning I didn't say anything. I just waited. Mark came down to breakfast like normal. He made coffee. He kissed my forehead. He said he loved me. I said, "Who's Alex?" He froze, just froze with his coffee cup halfway to his mouth. His face went white. "What do you mean?" he said. "Your phone, 3 a.m. Alex texted you. Tell me who that is." He put the cup down real slow. That's just someone from work. We're friends, nothing weird." At 3 a.m. and Alex is telling you to lie to me about conferences? My voice was shaking. "Mark, who is Alex?" He stood up and walked to the sink. He had his back to me for like a minute. I could see his shoulders moving. Then he turned around and just said it. "It's Alexis. From work. We've been together for 3 years." I couldn't breathe. 3 years, that's not a slip. That's not a mistake. That's a choice, every single day, to lie to my face. "How many times?" I asked. "What? How many times have you been with her?" He didn't answer. He just sat back down and put his head in his hands. "The conference weekends," I said. "Those weren't real conferences, were they?" "No." "The late nights, the dinners you said were client meetings?" "No." I pulled up his calendar on his laptop. I could see it all. Every lie was there, marked on his calendar. Business trip to Denver, client dinner, team building event, all of it was her. All of it was Alexis. Does she know you're married? I asked. He looked at me. Of course she knows. And she's fine with it? She wants me to leave you. She wants me to get a divorce. That hit different. This wasn't just an affair. This was someone trying to take my husband. I called a lawyer that same day. I didn't tell Mark. I just made the appointment and went. I took copies of everything. The messages, the calendar, the credit card statements showing hotels and restaurants. I had proof of 3 years of deception. The lawyer told me I had a strong case for infidelity. She said I could ask for more in the settlement because of how long it had gone on. She asked if I wanted to file right away. I said yes. Mark came home that night, and I told him the papers were coming. Started yelling about how I was ruining everything, how he loved Alexis, how I didn't understand. He said I was being cruel. He said I should have just let him be happy. You should have thought about that before you lied for 3 years, I said. He moved out 2 days later. He went straight to Alexis's apartment. The divorce took 6 months. I got the house, primary custody of the kids, and he had to pay child support and alimony. The judge wasn't kind to him. 3 years of documented infidelity looked really bad in court. His lawyer tried to spin it, but the evidence was solid. About a month after the divorce was final, I heard from a mutual friend that Alexis had left Mark. She'd apparently met someone else at her gym. Mark was alone in some rented apartment, dealing with payments he could barely afford. I didn't feel happy about it. I just felt tired and sad for the kids who lost their family. But I knew I'd made the right choice. I couldn't stay with someone who'd lied to me for that long. I couldn't be with someone who thought I was stupid enough not to check. I found my husband's burner phone in the garage, and what I saw made me feel sick. Let me back up. I'm Sarah, 34. I've been married to David for 9 years. We have 2 kids, Emma who's 7, and Jack who's 5. We live in Portland. David works as an accountant, and I run a small design business from home. Last month, David was cleaning out the garage, and he asked me to grab some boxes from a shelf. I was moving things around when I knocked over a metal toolbox. When I picked it up, a phone fell out. A phone I'd never seen before. I knew I shouldn't look. I really did, but something in my gut told me to check it. The phone wasn't locked. Inside I found texts, dozens of them, to someone named Lisa, and the messages were dating app conversations, recent ones, from the past 3 months. I kept scrolling. There were photos, David with a woman I didn't recognize, at restaurants, at hotels, and then I found something worse, a bank account statement, money transfers, thousands of dollars going to an address in Seattle. My hands were shaking. I took screenshots of everything. That night, I waited until the kids were asleep. I sat David down in the kitchen. "What's this phone?" I asked. I didn't ask it as a question. He went pale, like actually pale. His mouth opened and closed a few times. "Sarah, I can explain," he said. "Explain what?" "Explain the dating apps. Explain Lisa. Explain the money." He stood up and walked to the sink. His back was to me. For a long time he didn't say anything. "It started last year," he finally said. "I wasn't happy. I felt like we weren't connecting anymore. You're always working. The kids are always screaming. I needed an escape." I felt my chest tighten. "An escape? David, you have a wife and 2 children." "I know," he said. His voice was quiet. "I know that." "How much money?" I asked. "About $8,000, he said. I couldn't breathe. $8,000, money we'd been saving for a new car, money that came from both our accounts. "Is it just Lisa?" I asked. He didn't answer. That's when I knew. There were others. "How many?" I said. "Sarah, please, let's talk about this. Let's get help. We can fix this." "How many, David?" 3, but it was never physical. It was just online, just conversation. I laughed. It came out weird and broken. "Just online, just conversation. You spent $8,000 on just conversation." He turned around. "I made a mistake, a huge mistake. But I'm telling you now, we can work through this. Please don't tell anyone." And that's where I stopped listening, because telling no one felt like being complicit. It felt like accepting this. The next morning I called my mom and my best friend Rachel. I told them everything. They both said the same thing. "You need a lawyer." But before I did that, I did something I'm still not sure I should have done. I texted David's mom. I sent her the screenshots. Within 2 hours, his entire family knew. His mom called him, his dad called him, his sister called him, and then his work called him. Apparently, David's company has a code of conduct. Inappropriate behavior reflects poorly on the firm. David got suspended, pending an investigation. He came home that afternoon. He looked destroyed. "Why would you do that?" he said. His voice was hollow. "Why would you tell my family? Why would you tell my work?" "Because you're a liar," I said, "and I'm not going to protect you anymore." He moved out that night. His mom said he could stay with them. Now I'm waiting for the divorce papers. We're splitting everything. He's paying child support, and I'm in therapy trying to figure out how I missed this, how I didn't see it. My mom says I did the right thing. Rachel says I should have just hired a lawyer quietly. David's family isn't speaking to me, but his mom did reach out once to say she understood why I did it. So am I the asshole? I exposed him. I ruined his job prospects. I made sure everyone knew. Was that too much? I found out my girlfriend was paying her ex's rent and car payments while telling me we couldn't afford to move in together. Let me back up. My name's David. I'm 31. I've been with Sarah for 5 years. We met at work, fell hard for each other, and I thought we were building something real. 5 years. I was ready to propose. I had already picked out a ring. But money has always been weird with us. Sarah makes good money as a project manager, about $65K a year. I make around $52K. We split bills and that's fine. But every time I brought up moving in together, she'd say the same thing. "Not yet, David. I'm not in a good place financially right now. I need to build up my savings more." This happened for 2 years. 2 years of me being patient, thinking she just needed time to feel secure. Meanwhile, I'm living in a small apartment with 3 roommates. I'm 31 years old and sharing a bathroom with 2 guys I barely know, and she's got her own place, a nice place, 2-bedroom townhouse in a good area. So last month, I'm doing something I'm not proud of. I'm using her laptop to look up apartment listings. I wanted to surprise her with some options, show her that moving together could actually work. And her email is just sitting there open. I see an email from something called Landlord Pay. That's weird. I click on it. It's a payment confirmation. $500 for a rental property. The property is listed under someone named Marcus Chen. I stare at it for like 30 seconds. My brain isn't working right. I click on the previous email. Same thing. $500. Then I see another one. $600 for a car payment on a Toyota Camry, registered to Marcus Chen. My hands are shaking. I'm not even sure why I keep looking, but I do. I scroll back 3 months. Every single month. Rent payments, car payments, sometimes grocery store transfers, and it all adds up. I pull out my phone and do the math. She's been sending this Marcus guy almost $2,000 a month. I don't know what to do. I close the laptop. I sit there for like 20 minutes. Then I call her. Hey babe, she says. She sounds happy. She sounds normal. Who's Marcus Chen? I say. My voice sounds cold even to me. There's this pause, this long pause where I can hear her breathing change. What? Why are you asking me that? I'm asking because you're paying his rent and his car payment. $2,000 a month, Sarah. $2,000 that you told me we don't have. She doesn't say anything for a few seconds. Then, can we talk about this in person? No. Tell me now. Who is Marcus? She sighs. A real heavy sigh. He's my ex. We dated for 3 years before you. We broke up 5 years ago, but things got complicated. He had some money problems, and I felt responsible. I just wanted to help him get back on his feet. You've been helping him for 5 years? It wasn't supposed to be this long, but then he lost his job, and then his mom got sick, and I couldn't just leave him hanging. You don't understand what that was like. We were together a long time. I laugh. I actually laugh because this is insane. What I don't understand is why you lied to me. Why you told me we couldn't afford to move in together while you're bankrolling your ex's entire life. Because I knew you'd react like this. Like what? Like someone who's been lied to for 5 years? Sarah, I was going to propose to you. I had a ring picked out. I was going to ask you next month. The phone goes quiet again, and I realize something. She doesn't sound surprised. She doesn't sound shocked. She sounds guilty, but not shocked. Has he ever asked you to stop? I ask. Has Marcus ever said, I'm good now, you don't need to do this anymore? No, not really, but that doesn't mean. You know what? I'm done. I'm actually done. Don't call me. I hung up. It's been 3 weeks. She tried calling me for the first week, left voicemail saying she wanted to work it out, that she made a mistake, that she could stop helping Marcus. But I don't believe her. I don't know if she ever will stop. And I can't be with someone who's willing to lie to me about something that big. I found out yesterday that she's still sending Marcus money. My friend Jake saw her at the bank making a transfer. So she lied again. Right to my face. The ring is still in my drawer. I'm going to return it tomorrow. I found a hotel receipt in my husband's wallet from a trip he said was all business. It wasn't a hotel room. It was a suite. And the dates didn't match what he told me. Let me back up. My husband Mark is 38. We've been married for 9 years. We have 2 kids, Emma who's 6, and Lucas who's 4. For the past 3 years, Mark has been going on these work trips, every month, sometimes twice a month. He's in sales, so it made sense. Or so I thought. I wasn't the snooping type. I never checked his phone or his wallet. But last Tuesday, his wallet fell out of his jacket pocket when I was doing laundry. The receipt slipped out. The Riverside Hotel, a deluxe suite, $340 a night. And it was dated for last month, the same week he told me he was at a conference in Denver. I stared at that receipt for like 5 minutes. My hands were shaking. I didn't want to jump to conclusions. Maybe there was an explanation. Maybe the company booked it wrong. Maybe he got moved to a nicer room. I called him. He was at work. Hey, quick question, I said. That conference you went to last month in Denver, you stayed at the Riverside Hotel? There was this pause, this long pause that told me everything. Yeah, why, he said. Because I'm looking at a receipt right now, and the Riverside Hotel is in Portland, not Denver. Oh, that. Yeah, the company had to move me. There was a scheduling issue. A scheduling issue? So you just didn't tell your wife you were in a different state? I forgot. It was no big deal. I felt sick. Mark, I'm not stupid. Why would you stay in a deluxe suite for a work conference? Look, I don't want to do this over the phone. Do what? Tell me the truth? He hung up. I sat on the bedroom floor for an hour, just sitting there, the receipt in my hand. I didn't want to believe what I was thinking, but I couldn't stop thinking it. When he got home, I was waiting. The kids were asleep. I had the receipt on the kitchen table. He walked in and saw it immediately. His face just fell. We need to talk, I said. It's not what you think, he said. Then tell me what it is. He sat down. He looked at his hands for like 2 minutes before he spoke. There's someone. Her name is Jessica. She works at my company. It started about 3 years ago, at a work event. We kissed, and then it just kept happening. I felt like I couldn't breathe. The trips, I said. You were meeting her. Some of them, not all of them. How many? I don't know. Most of them. Most of them. So for 3 years he was lying to my face every single time. Every time he packed his suitcase. Every time he kissed me goodbye. Every time he called and said he missed me. Does she know you're married? Yes. And she doesn't care? We talked about it. We said we loved each other. I stood up. I couldn't sit anymore. I want you to pack a bag and get out of this house. Come on, don't do this. We can work through this. Work through it? Mark, you've been cheating on me for 3 years, with someone from your work, someone who knew exactly what she was doing. I don't want to work through it. I want you gone. He tried to argue. He tried to say we should go to counseling, that it was a mistake, that he wanted our family. But I wasn't listening anymore. He left that night. I called a lawyer the next morning. His company found out about the affair when Jessica's husband called them to complain about their employees sleeping with a married man. They fired both of them. Mark lost his job, Jessica lost her job, and my husband lost his family. The divorce was finalized 6 months ago. He sees the kids every other weekend. He pays child support. And I'm rebuilding my life without him.